Hey, good evening, everyone, and happy Valentine's Day weekend and Super Bowl weekend. I know everybody out there in the USA, all over the world, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. I'm your man G Money Stacks, aka Lonely Nomad, aka the Gregonator, aka the unstoppable independent podcaster, YouTuber, host with the most, and wiki podcaster of Queens, New York. And you are now tuning in to the 14th episode of Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast, the Sports Edition show. And we have a jam-packed show for you today. Now, in honor of Super Bowl 56 weekend, we're gonna go over some highlights on 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 some stuff as far as like what's going down, what went down, and stuff like that. So, certain stuff I'm probably gonna cover on my number one show off the Meat Rack Chains New York podcast in regards to TV and movies. I don't know if I'm probably not gonna cover it here, but we'll see what happens though, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm I hope that everybody out there and all over the world and of course the USA and stuff is tuning into the Super Bowl 56 game with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams. Because I already got my TV on Channel 4 right now. So I figured I'd start this podcast so I could get to the halftime performance show and stuff like that. So let's cut to the chase right now, man. So here we go. You guys are new to the channel, new listeners from the YouTube universe, new listeners, and you miss any previous episodes whatsoever, please go ahead and grab the subscribe button on the Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast Sports Edition Show YouTube channel page. Make sure you enable alerts, leave a like and a comment, more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes, download your favorite episodes, and you know the rest. I will actually go over the audio streaming platforms on the go at the end of the show. So just bear with me, folks. Now, as far as how I'm doing mentally, physically, and spiritually so far, I'm actually doing a lot better and stuff. I am gonna do a little. I'm going to address something on my number one show podcast in regards to the whole Joe Rogan thing and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna do it right here today. So um you're gonna have to wait till Wednesday for my number one recording. So there you go. Now, physically and spiritually, I am doing all right so far. So there you go, right there. All right. So we're gonna go to our the first segment that I like to call. Hang on a minute. The quick side bleacher bar. And you guys know what it is, man. We go over what's going on in sports in terms of the athletes, in terms of this, in terms of everything that we talk about here, as far as stats, whatever. Um, so we're gonna get into our first topic in regards to the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, so the first thing we gotta talk about in regards to the Brooklyn Nets is um the Nets versus to Miami. So basically, the Nets travel to Miami to take on the Eastern Conference leading Heat on Saturday night. The Nets have the NBA's longest active losing streak with 10 losses in a row. Will will hopefully be getting some reinforcement for the game in South Beach. Wait a minute. 10 losses? 10 fucking losses? Are you fucking kidding me? That's crazy. That has to be a fucking disgrace, man. And and I'm gonna get to the NBA trade in regards to James Harden in a couple of minutes. So just bear with me here. Hold on a second. Let me get a sip. Excuse me. Okay. Ben Simmons is reportedly going to join the team in Miami, but he will not be playing. New acquisitions Andre Drummond and sharpshooter Seth Curry could be able to suit up for the Nets in Saturday's game. Steve Nash said following the loss Thursday night in Washington that Drummond and Curry could join the team in Miami, but was unsure if they would play. Both were listed as questionable on Friday. Drummond could be a big piece for the Nets in against Miami, as Brooklyn has lacked a traditional big who can bang with Bam Adebayo. Blake Griffin called Drummond a monster down low after Thursday's deadline deal was made official and noted his addition as something the team needed. The Nets have fallen down the standings over the last month, dropping all the way to the eighth seed. With only 27 games remaining in the season, they are going to have to get every win they can get, starting with snapping their 10-game skid. Yeah, that's crazy, folks. It's the playoffs right around the corner, so we have to fast track it so we can get used to each other. Kevin Durant said on Thursday night about the Nets. Um, the Nets and the Heat have already met once early this season, with the Heat winning 106 to 93 on October 27th in what was the Nets' fifth game of the season. The Nets struggled shooting the ball that night, going 38.8% from the field in a game Kyrie Irving was not playing due to being unvaccinated. Brooklyn was also out-rebounded 62 to 42 and outscored in the paint 48 to 40, 48 to 34. I already spoke about the whole Kyrie Irving thing in episode 10 in terms of how he's not a fucking hero. Everybody's painting him as this fucking hero, but he's really not a fucking hero. So he's faking the funk. So I'm not gonna, get into too much on that one. So stop faking the funk, man. Saturday night's game will be the second matchup out of four, with the last two games being, no, excuse me, both being in March, one in Brooklyn and one in Miami. Look for Kyrie Irving to have a big night, especially if Seth Curry is able to play. The extra floor spacing will allow Irving to exploit one-on-one matchups. On Thursday night in Washington, Irving was getting double teamed and blitzed a majority of the second half, even getting triple teamed on the Nets' last possession down three. That caused him to struggle. With Patty Mills and Curry on the court, the Heat will not be able to use the same tactics. Nets notables, Cam Thomas has continued his amazing production, averaging 23.5 um, double PG, double PG on 51 and 38 splits over his last four games. The Nets currently have two of the top five 3-point shooters percentage wise in NBA history, and Joe Harris, point 439 over his career, and Seth Curry, point 4,372 over his entire career. Andre Drummond is currently first in the NBA in rebounds per 36 minutes with 17.3. The Miami Heat are 11-point favorites, and the Eastern BPI gives them an 83% chance to win. The Nets franchise record for losses in a row is 18. Nets injury report. Seth Curry, trade pending, questionable. Andre Drummond, trade pending, questionable. LaMarcus Aldridge, left ankle sprain, out. Nic Claxton, left hamstring tightness, out. Kevin Durant, left knee MCL sprain, out. Joe Harris, left ankle, out. And Ben Simmons, not with the team, is out. The Heat injury report. Callie Martin, Achilles. Questionable PJ Tucker, knee. Questionable Tyler Harrow, knee. Questionable Victor Oladipo, knee, out. And Markieff Morris, neck, out. Yeah, I mean, all right. So in other, let me see. In other Nets news, let's see what we got here. All right. So, I've been saving this for a while, so I'm just gonna go through this. So stay with me, folks. It was a lesson the Nets would rather have learned on Saturday than later in the season or in the playoffs. Just because you are supposed to win doesn't mean you will. So no one was happy when the final buzzer sounded at Barclays Center and the Nets had allowed the shorthanded Los Angeles Clippers to walk out of Brooklyn with a win. Hold on a sec. Hold on a minute here. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on, folks. Yeah. The 120 to 116 result had been the Nets' second consecutive loss, which had been the first time this season they had lost back-to-back games. End quote. I think allowing 71 points in the second half is unacceptable. Yeah, I could agree. Nets head coach Steve Nash said, "We just never really had the care factor. Turned it up. We had a chance up 9, 10, 11 in the third and fourth at different times and just look and just took our foot off the gas and got what we deserved. Really. All those guys in there, I think they know it. They are disappointed, of course, but it's a disappointment for all of us. That was obviously a very winnable game that we let get away. Saturday was a privilege, the Nets' most disappointing loss of the season, and a reminder of what happens when you take your foot off the pedal." That's a good analogy right here. Yeah, that's a good analogy right there. Oh man. All right, so Brooklyn has survived a week when COVID ravaged its locker room and forced at one point 10 players out of the lineup. Now, with everyone back from protocol and two of their big three back on the court, the Nets should have handled the Clippers with relative ease. Perhaps that was the problem on Saturday night. We just relaxed too much. Displeased, Kevin Durant said, "We get up 10, miss a layup or turn the ball over, and they get a fast break. Give up a 3 straight line drive, like Coach said. We didn't deserve to win this game. We came in here with a fucked up attitude, thinking we were just going to walk into a W." Durant later added, "If you ain't feeling like shit after this game, then you got to look at yourself in the mirror." The irony of the whole thing is how the Nets were in the Clippers' position only a few short weeks ago. Los Angeles was without Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, um, and Nicholas Batum because of injuries, and head coach Ty Lue was in health and safety protocol. "They're going through so much over here," Durant said. "You don't think you could lose the NBA game like this? They are missing how many guys? They are playing guys that are up from the G League. Xavier Moon came in and hit some shots for them. Keon Johnson, James Ennis, they all made an impact, I felt, on the game, and I think we came in too chill to start. After back-to-back losses at home, the Nets will look to turn things around a bit when the Memphis Grizzlies come to town on Monday night. Brooklyn is not likely to underestimate the Grizzlies, who are 7-3 in their last 10 games. And Memphis is averaging 112.9 points while shooting 45.3% from the field. All right. All right, let's see. All right, let's see right here. What's next on the topic agenda? Okay, we're going to all right. Um okay. So we're gonna talk Kevin Porter Jr. Um all right, let's see. So Kevin Porter Jr. and the Houston Rockets will be matching up against the Toronto Raptors um at 8 o'clock Eastern on Thursday. Porter is averaging 13.4 points, 6.1 assists, and 4.0 rebounds per game. Let's take a look at Porter's prop bet stats and trends ahead of this contest to help you examine your best wagers. So, this is from February 10th. Let's get into this. So, Porter last 10 games. Okay, so the Pelicans, 35 minutes, 27 points, rebounds, assists, um 8 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 2, 1 in this while against the Spurs, 11 minutes, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 and 0. So the Cavaliers, 32 minutes, 16 points, 1 rebound, 7 assists, 3 and 0. Warriors, 33 minutes, 17 points, 1 rebound, 11 assists, 5 and 0. Spurs, 26 minutes, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 and 0. Warriors, 33 minutes, 17 points, 1 rebound, 8 assists, 2 and 0. Utah Jazz, 30 minutes, 15 points, 1 rebound, 8 assists, 3 and 0. Kings, 36 minutes, 28 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 and 0. Kings, 31 minutes, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 and 0. All right. Now, scoring prop insights. Okay, Thursday's over and under for Porter is 13.5 points. That's 0.1 more than his season average of 13.4. Porter has appeared in 54 games this season, putting up more than 13.5 points in 17 of them. Porter has hit over the over on his points prop total 15 times this season in 35 games with such a prop. Porter has knocked down 2.2 3-pointers per game, 0.3 less than his over under in Thursday's game, 2.5. Porter has hit more than 2.5 trays in 11 of his 54 games so far this season, giving up 106.6 points per game. The Raptors are the 9th ranked squad in the NBA defensively. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. All right. All right. So, next agenda in this topic, the next subject is Nic Claxton. Okay. So, okay. Let me see what the hell's going on here. Hold on, folks. Let me try to get much of a story about this. So let's see. Let me see if there's anything recent. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything recent in February. Oh, okay. So, Okay. Nic Claxton remains out Thursday versus the Wizards. The hamstring injury that has prevented Nic Claxton from playing in the Brooklyn Nets past two games will keep him out against the Washington Wizards on Thursday. Let's see. Hold on a minute. Okay. Injuries have impacted Claxton's availability this year. The third-year center has appeared in just 25 games this season, starting in 18. Claxton is finding his rhythm offensively despite the limited playing time, putting up a career best 9.1 points per game and 5.6 rebounds. The hope is that Claxton will be cleared to rejoin the Nets over the coming games. For now, Blake Griffin remains the go-to option at center with LaMarcus Aldridge out with an ankle injury. Andre Drummond was acquired in the James Harden trade but won't be available against Washington. The Nets are on a 9-game skid, with their last win coming against San Antonio Spurs on January 21st. They can right the ship against the Wizards, but they'll have to do so as underdogs. FanDuel Sportsbook has the Nets lined as +2 underdogs for Thursday night's matchup. Well, yeah, it ain't looking good for the Brooklyn Nets, man. It's not looking. It's not really good. It's not really looking good. And speaking of not looking good, James Harden. Yeah. Yeah. Wait. Let's see this. Let's see. Hold on a minute, folks. Let's get me some more stuff to talk about here. If I'm not mistaken, let's see. Okay. Hold on a minute, folks, as I look something up. Okay. Let me see. All right. Okay. Okay, let's see. All right. Let me just see what's going on here. This is nuts. Man, hold on. Okay. Okay, okay, this is good. All right, so with the Nets returning to the court Saturday for the first time since they sent James Harden to Philadelphia in a package for Ben Simmons, Coach Steve Nash and star Kevin Durant opened up on a trade that shook the foundations of the Atlantic um, Division and could impact the fates of everyone in the Eastern Conference. Simmons, after dealing with a series-crushing case of the yips, has sat out the entirety of the 2021 to 2022 thus far. But as the Nets began to ramp up toward his return, Nash pointed out that playing next to Durant, Kyrie Irving, and fellow newcomer Seth Curry, Simmons' shot making has downshifted in the priority list. Ben does 1,000 things on the basketball court, and shooting is not one that I'm dying to see, Nash said. He's an all-star basketball player and has an incredible potential to affect games with all the other things he does. I want him to get out there and be dynamic. And of course, yeah. As for Durant, the all NBA forward said Harden doesn't have to explain anything to anybody. He's his own man and makes his decisions on his career himself. But Durant is glad the team got this thing done and can move past the noise, allowing their focus to shift toward the playoff pursuit and correcting course amidst a 10-game slide. We'll see about that, folks. This is a wait and see. Remains to be seen, man. You know what I mean? Um, okay. Now that I mentioned hold on a second. Okay, the reinforcements for the Nets. Let's talk about that. The Brooklyn Nets losing streak is 11 games, but they anticipate reinforcements any minute. 11 games? That's not looking good for the Brooklyn Nets, folks. Losing 11 games? Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious, man? Are you serious? Anyway, man, on seeking their first win in more than 3 weeks, the Nets hope newcomers Andre Drummond and Seth Curry will be available Monday night when they host the revamped Sacramento Kings. The teams are meeting for the second time this month after the Nets scored just 15 points in the fourth quarter of a 112 112 to 101 loss on February 2nd that marked James Harden's final appearance with the Nets. After Harden was held to 4 points in his final game. Reports about him wanting out of Brooklyn continued to surface, and he sat out the final 3 games before he was traded Thursday to the Philadelphia 76ers, for Ben Simmons, Curry, and Drummond. Curry averaged a career high 15 points and shot 40% from 3-point range with Philadelphia this season. I'm ready to make the most of the opportunity, Curry said. I'm optimistic about it. Excuse me. Drummond, who often dominated the Nets in his 7+ seasons with Detroit, averaged 18.4 minutes for the Sixers as Joel Embiid's backup, but still pulled down 6.1 rebounds a game. Harden passed his physical Saturday night to clear the way for Curry and Drummond to be available. Curry and Drummond were held out Saturday as the skid continues with a 115 to 111 loss at Miami. The Nets nearly erased a 21-point deficit as Kyrie Irving scored 20 of his 29 in the fourth quarter. Rookie Cam Thomas added 22, including a three-pointer that made it a 1-point game with 37 seconds left. But when the Nets got the ball back trailing by 2, he had an inbounds pass stolen in the final seconds. This one hurt. We're on an 11-game now losing streak. We thought it was gonna be the one. Brooklyn rookie for Day'Ron Sharpe said. Day'Ron Sharpe said. The next one, we coming in and saying we winning this no matter what. The Nets are 2-12 since losing Kevin Durant to a sprained medial collateral ligament in his left knee on January 15th. And during this skid, Brooklyn has 7 double-digit losses. Opponents have shot. Excuse me. Wait a second. Hold on. 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 Yes, opponents have shot at least 50% in 7 games of those games, including the past 5. When Sacramento beat the Nets nearly 2 weeks ago, Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield played key roles, but both are now in Indiana. In their place are Demontis Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, and Justin Holiday, along with Dante DiVincenzo, Trey Lyles, and Josh Jackson, who were obtained last week. The Kings are 4-2 over their past 6 games, starting with that win over Brooklyn on February 2nd. Sacramento, hold on. Sacramento, wait. Yes, Sacramento is seeking its second 3-game winning streak this season after beating Minnesota and Washington. These were the games that were losing early on and all the way up until this week. Really, Sacramento coach Alvin Gentry said, "I hope this is a sign of good things to come. Sacramento is in a position for its first 3-game winning streak since December 1st to the 8th, thanks to strong performances by De'Aaron Fox and Harrison Barnes, while getting productive showings from Sabonis. Barnes followed up his 30-point game against Minnesota on Wednesday with 27 in Saturday's 123 to 110 win at Washington, when the Kings shot a season high 56.6%. Fox has scored 19 of his 53 points in the fourth quarter when Sacramento outscored Minnesota and Washington by a combined 64-60 margin. Sabonis contributed 16 and 11 rebounds Saturday after debuting with 22 and 14 Wednesday, while Holiday added 12, starting in the backcourt alongside Fox. I think we all agreed the team looks completely different, Fox said. And this is from Field Level Media. All right. Let's see. Okay, let's see which one I didn't cover. Did touch on that already. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, hold on a minute here. Okay, another Kevin Durant news. Let's go there. And this is, yes. So the Nets are hanging on for dear life as they wait for the return of Kevin Durant sometime after the NBA All-Star break. The good news for the Nets, who are in need for it after dropping their 11th straight game, is that Durant seems to be recovering well. In his first appearance with local media, the Nets cornerstone said that he was getting better every day. It's obviously a process to get back on the court, and I'm going through that every day, Durant said. I'm feeling better, much better as I go as each week passes. It's slow, but I'm looking forward to ramping things up. Durant suffered a sprained MCL back on January 15th against the New Orleans Pelicans. He has been on the court doing some work. He hasn't been cleared to do any high intensity. He also wouldn't commit to playing the Nets' first game at the All-Star break on February 24th against the Boston Celtics, according to the New York Post. While the injury could have been much worse, the Nets have struggled without their superstar on the floor. Brooklyn has gone a dismal 2-12 since the injury occurred, and Dave dropped all the way down to 8th in the Eastern Conference, which puts the Nets in a play-in spot. They also own the league's longest active losing streak. Um, Hold on, folks. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah. Yes. We know we're in some deep shit. Don't get me wrong, Durant said of the Nets' current situation. We do understand that with a win, one win, it could just put us on the right track. And that's what it takes in this league, and things can change pretty fast. Whenever Durant does return to the floor, he will do so to a Nets team that will look much different than the one he played with before. The Nets were able to unload disgruntled star James Harden to Philadelphia before Thursday's trade deadline in exchange for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, and Andre Drummond. Um, while the end of the Big Three era came quicker than anyone imagined, Durant said the Nets can now push forward with the group they have. I'm sure there was a lot of uncertainty in the locker room about what our future was going to be as a group, Durant said. So many different things happened as far as injuries and guys in and out of the lineup. COVID. It was an up and down first half of the season for us. I think everybody is now settled in on what they need to do, and as we get more and more bodies back, we're starting to figure out our roles. Then just keep rolling on from here. Everything is a process, and we just looking forward to going through it. Yeah, this is true. I could agree with that. Yes, everything is a process, man. Especially you trying to recover from an injury, a serious injury, MCL, ACL, um, issues with the herniated disc, whatever injury it is, it takes time to heal. So don't rush the process. Um, let's see. Let's see what else I actually covered. Um, just a minute, folks. All right. Did I cover? I think I covered this. Just a sec. Yeah, I covered this. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So we're gonna talk the NBA trade deadline and stuff. So let's get into that right there. This is in regards to the NBA trade. I did talk briefly about it, so we're gonna get into it even more. So 2022 NBA trade deadline winners and losers: Ben Simmons for James Harden, blockbuster Caps wild day. Mayhem, chaos, utter absurdity. Such was the 2022 NBA trade deadline, which featured MVPs, All Stars, number one picks, future draft picks, ring chasers, ping pong ball hoarders. Oh shit! Ping pong hoarders. Oh shit! That shit is so funny right here. Truly something for everyone. There were too many details taking place to do a full accounting of here. So we're going to take you through the biggest winners and losers to try and make sense of it all. Every team thinks they won every trade. Spoiler alert, they didn't. Winner is Brooklyn Nets and Philadelphia 76ers. Okay, so we have to start here. If you want a long breakdown, I already gave my grade of the Simmons and Harden swap here. In short, I loved it for both sides. Daryl Morey served up a masterclass in negotiation, landing his crown jewel in Harden while also preserving a legitimate title shot in 2022. The 76ers sorely needed some more juice in their shot creation down the stretch of playoff games. So Harden will certainly help there. There will be no, excuse me, there will have to be some balance between Embiid and Harden, but an overabundance of quality isolation players is certainly a better problem to have than a too timid Simmons. Hmm. Speaking of Simmons, it's hard to find a better fit than in Brooklyn. Not only he, excuse me, not only will he instantly shore excuse me, shore up some of their massive defensive woes. Playing alongside Durant and Irving relieves pressure at the offensive end and allowing him to fit into a more suitable role. Both teams got better. Both teams can win the title. Another win-win. Yeah, ducks and runs. um, that doesn't mean. Hold on. That doesn't mean. Um, that doesn't mean it will always go in. The Lakers went big with the Westbrook trade, and it has completely backfired. Oh, it exploded in their face. So the deadline was their last chance to dig themselves out. They looked completely listless in their loss to the Blazers skeleton crew the night before the deadline. Skeleton crew. Oh shit. Oh man. this is their team now, and they've just committed to wasting one of the few precious years remaining of LeBron James' career. oh my, oh my fucking gosh, this is so funny. put a fork, put a fork in this team. They're done. Oh shit. Um. So King Reddit, take a deep breath. This is not sarcasm. My knee-jerk reaction to the Kings trading Tyrese, Halliburton, and Demantas Sabonis was to give them a C grade. It took one game of seeing Sabonis in a Kings uniform to realize that was way too low. Well, the Kings dismantled a good Wolves defense in Sabonis' debut on Wednesday night. He's a talented offensive player that can serve as the hub of an offense, and he was slinging the ball around in his first game to reinvigorate as Kings' offense ranked 22nd before the trade. The Aaron Fox also looked much better with a less crowded guard rotation, and the pick and roll chemistry between those two looks promising. I also like the move of adding Dante DiVincenzo in a four-team swap where the Kings only had to give up Marvin Bagley III. Bagley is the bigger name given that he was the number 2 pick in the 2018 draft, but that's a sunk cost at this point. He simply hasn't played well despite getting loads of opportunities. DiVincenzo suffered a serious ankle injury in last year's playoffs that kept him out for the first 34 games of the Bucks season. And to be fair, he's been extremely rusty in his return. That has marred um how good he was last season when he showed that he might be capable of a bigger role than he had on the championship Bucks. He's a nice two-way player with high feel. He was a solid 3-point shooter before his injury, hitting on 35% with good volume over his first 3 years in the league. DiVincenzo is available largely because the Bucks were going to struggle to pay him. The Kings made a shrewd move here. Um, did I really just type that? By taking advantage of another team's finances. Another winner, Indiana Pacers. NBA media rules expressly prohibit wins from both sides of the trade, so please keep this one on the down low. This might be an unpopular opinion, but the Pacers are probably the biggest winner of the trade deadline. The Sabonis Miles Turner pairing had run its course. The fit was worse than a suit from the 2003 NBA draft. Hallie Burton would probably go third or fourth in a red redraft today, depending on how high you are on Desmond Bain. At 21 years old, the Pacers have locked up a dynamic guard that can fit with whatever other pieces they pick up later in this rebuild. Hallie Burton has terrific feel on both ends of the court. He can play off ball as a great spot up shooter. And if anyone on the NBA Twitter ever gets a general manager job, he can be flipped down the road for 17 first round picks. Moving Caris LeVert, who didn't fit into Coach college style system, was another win for the Pacers. They got good compensation as the two picks from the Cavs are expected to land in their 24 to 33 range. Indiana also opened up big cap space. They are not a free agent destination, and this isn't a good class coming up, but they can use that space to take on bad deals for one. No, excuse me, for more picks as they continue to rebuild. So, loser, Portland Trailblazers. The Blazers moving Robert Covington and wait. His first name is Normal. Normal. Oh man. Normal Powell. Oh my gosh. Oh my fucking gosh. Normal Powell for pennies on the dollar did get them an okay prospect of Keon Johnson, although Johnson hasn't played particularly well in the G League this season. Make no mistake, though, this deal was mostly about getting the team under the luxury tax and netting ownership an 8-figure payday. The subsequent CJ McCollum and Larry Nance Jr. trades were about moving those massive contracts off their books and letting interim general manager Joe Cronin start fresh. These trades didn't make any sense, didn't make much sense from a fan point of view. But CPAs all over the country are taking a break from riveting audits to marvel at the Blazers front office at work. We have another winner. New Orleans Pelicans. Uh Salary cap nerds question the wisdom of giving up assets to acquire McCollum, but local experts Mason Ginsberg and Shamit Dua beat down this argument soundly. As they told me on their podcast, the team tried the cap space plan to this summer, clearing up to $40 million to try and lure players like Kyle Lowry. Nobody of consequence wanted their money. Trade Games McCollum to New Orleans. McCollum has another 69 million left on his deal over the next 2 seasons. That's a lot to pay a guy who's never been an all-star and is already on the wrong side of 30. But he's still a great player. He fits what the Pelicans are lacking in terms of shot creation and shooting, and he was willing to board that flight. Interesting. That part of the equation is overlooked when these small market teams swing deals for big names. Teams like Utah and Portland were trying to save tax bills. The Pelicans were trying to get better. That's a big W in my book. Another win, the Thunder. Coach Mark Dejanot bemoaned the concept of grades, arguing that it's not even being short sighted. It's like before sighted. I don't know what that means. The Thunder pulled off the most boring trade of the season, moving a fake second round pick in exchange for KZ um, Okapala. Um, Dejanot got his wish. Nobody was grading that one. Another winner, Boston Celtics. I don't know what the Celtics fans are more excited about: getting fan favorite Daniel Theus back, or no longer having to hear about the trades that Danny Ainge almost pulled off at the deadline. Much of the Celtics' problems have been chemistry related rather than talent related. They got rid of Schroeder, with a reputation for being difficult in the locker rooms, and replaced him with familiar friend Thais, who can slide right in as a versatile two-way big man. Derek White will be a great addition. I was stunned at the low asking price for him. White isn't going to drop a bunch of points every night for the Celtics, but he will be a great role player that can move the ball well and play superb defense. He's having a down year shooting from three, but he's been solid from there throughout his career. Okay, the loser, Chicago Bulls. Every team in the East got better. What does that mean for the Bulls? They are eventually getting a bunch of key pieces back in Patrick Williams, Alex Caruso, and Lonzo Ball. While they wait, they are going to fall in the standings. They are in third today, but only 4.5 games ahead of the eighth place Nets. Those two teams could switch spots at by the end of the season. The Bulls will look to the buyout market to improve at the margins. That probably won't be enough to get them ahead of the other top teams in the East. Long term, perhaps the Bulls are better off by holding on to Williams rather than taking a swing at a legitimate run now. In the short term, it's hard to see Chicago walks away with anything but an L. Okay. Okay. Now one more thing I want to actually go over is in honor of Super Bowl 56, we got some stuff to talk about in here. Um so this is according to USA Today. But this is the Super Bowl at SoFi Stadium, where the same brand of beer costs $17. Wow. Yeah, $17. How about that? $17 for the same size can as Sunday's game between the Los Angeles Rams and Cincinnati Bengals, which is playing right now. Uh Other items at the concession stands on Super Bowl Sunday came with similar sticker stock. $12 for a jumbo hot dog, $7 for a 20-ounce fountain soda, And 55, hold on a sec. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, $55 for a small Los Angeles Rams t-shirt. SoFi Stadium has the most expensive hot dogs and beer in the NFL in 2021, according to team marketing reports NFL Fan Cost Index for 2021. Let's see. Let me see. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on a second. Okay, Super Bowl 56 uniforms, Bengal wearing black, Rams in white. As the home team in Super Bowl 56, despite playing at the Rams' home Los Angeles SoFi Stadium, the Cincinnati Bengals are wearing their black jersey, white pants with orange stripes, and orange socks. The black jersey is part of the Bengals standard uniform when they play at the Paul Brown Stadium. They've worn it with white pants and black pants. The Rams are wearing their white jerseys with blue numerals and yellow pants. Super Bowl squares are a standard pregame ritual with football's biggest day of the year. Comes parties, fandom, betting, and of course, Super Bowl squares. If you're looking for a refresher on how to play this fun and easy party game, check out our primer on how to set up your own game. We also have some insight into exactly which square is probably the best odds to pay out. Hint, avoid the twos and the fives if possible. Rams wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. no longer the villain. As Odell Beckham Jr. Takes aim at his first championship ring, it's jarring to think he's no better than the third best wide receiver playing in Super Bowl 56, at least based on how the 2021 unfolded. Yet the likes of Los Angeles Rams Offensive Player of the Year, Cooper Kupp, and Cincinnati Bengals Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jamar Chase, are a long way from approaching the still dynamic legacy OBJ has somehow crafted in just 8 NFL seasons. It was apparent this week that there's a real piece about Beckham, age 29, who projected striking self-awareness while also appearing fully cognizant of his lofty place in the league's pantheon. Knowing that responsibility that I carry to set a standard, to know that some of them look up to me, is the reason why I feel like I'm how I am now instead of the 23-year-old me. Beckham says, "You've got to go through things to grow through things." That's the same scenario what Nick Cannon was talking about. You gotta grow through the pain and dance through the rain. I kind of like that saying because it makes perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? It really makes perfect sense, though. It really makes perfect sense, though, if you really think about it, though. Yeah, it does. Man. Oh man. All right. Get rid of this thing right here. Okay. Joe Burrow unleashes his inner tiger en route to stadium. Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow was looking sharp as he boarded the bus with his team ahead of Sunday's Super Bowl 56 matchup against the Los Angeles Rams at SoFi Stadium. Wearing a tiger striped gray and black suit with a black hat, NFL Network co-host Rich Eisen compared Burrow's pregame hat to that of Walter White's alter ego from Breaking Bad. Not Breaking Bad, man. Oh man, that's fucking insane to say. That's fucking insane to say though. The Bengals also shared video of Burrow's locker as they arrived at SoFi Stadium. Super Bowl pregame reads: USA Today Sports has loaded up on Super Bowl coverage in the last 2 weeks. Here are some of the best reads to get you all ready for the game. Super Bowl predictions: will the Bengals or Rams win? Who will be MVP? And which players could be X factors? Super Bowl matchup breakdown: who holds the advantage in every facet of the game? Nate Davis breaks down how the game could be won. Did Sean McVay learn from being out coached in the last Super Bowl? The Rams coach addresses how he balances learning his previous Super Bowl disappointment with keeping a focus on the future. NFL's coaching revolution on display. The meeting between Sean McVay and Zach Taylor won't simply be a reunion between former teacher and protege, but also an indicator of where the league's coaching movement is heading. How Kelly and Matthew Stafford made things work in Los Angeles. Kelly, the wife of the Rams quarterback, gives exclusive insight on the challenges the Stafford's marriage faced after a move to Los Angeles. Tightwad versus Big Spender. The Bengals, Mike Brown, and Rams stand Kroenke, Kuroki, are a study in contrasting ownership styles. Eric Weddle was retired, then he came back for a shot at a Super Bowl ring. How did the Rams get a 37-year-old who had been retired for 2 years up to speed for a Super Bowl run? More over Tom Brady. There's a new oldest active player in the NFL, and Rams left tackle Andrew Whitworth relishes his senior status. How one transfer changed the course of college football NFL history. Joe Burrow's move from Ohio State to LSU forever changed the football landscape. Okay. All right. And I think it's going to wrap. This is going to wrap up the 14th episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this special episode in honor of Super Bowl 54. Happy Super Bowl 56 and Valentine's Day weekend to every single person out there that's tuning in from the 5 boroughs, including Long Island, aka Strong Island. You know what I'm saying? And if you guys like what you heard in today's episode, please feel free to show some love by making a charitable donation to my Cash App. As dollar sign G Money Stacks 555. That's dollar sign capital G, lowercase MONEY, capital S, lowercase TACKZ 555. Once again, it's not about breaking the bank, folks. It's all about doing what you can, and whatever amount of money you are comfortable with will be appreciated. So there you go, right there. You can also follow Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast Instagram show page on Instagram, and you can also follow my other show, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, and of course, make sure you follow me on 17 Live at G Money Queens, New York. And also follow my number one show, Off the Meat Rack Chains New York podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, myself, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. That's what NY stands for, folks. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get into a little something right here. Let's see. We're gonna get into a little segment that I like to call Stream Choices on the Go. And you guys know what this is about, man. If you are on the Excellent Fun Vibrant podcast Instagram handle page. You're gonna see a link that says no, excuse me. You're gonna see a link that says Linktree slash Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast. All right. When you see that link, you click on there and you're going to see a whole list of audio streaming platforms. Make sure you subscribe to all of them. Make sure you download them onto your iPhones, your Androids, um, your, your iPads, and your Android tablets, your computers, and along with laptops as well. So for Android users that don't have Apple Podcasts, you can download Podcast Tracker to your Android phones right there. So there you go. Let me just get that out the way. And for starters, we are on Anchor, Audible, Audacity, Amazon Music, Breaker, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podfriend, Podorama, Podopolo, Podcast Addict, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Reason FM, Spotify. Don't forget to give a 5-star rating to Podchaser, Podfriend, Spotify, and leave a review of what you think about the show, episodes and stuff. I will appreciate a little feedback. All right. We are on Stitcher, TuneIn, Radio, Google Podcasts. And don't forget to listen to Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast, the Sports Edition show on Radio Public. We are on iHeartRadio, the number one app for music, radio, and podcast. And last but not least, the YouTube. You go on the YouTube, grab the subscribe button for me on the Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast YouTube channel page. Enable alerts by tapping on the noti bell, so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream. Stay tuned for more content, video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes. Download your favorite episodes, share the episodes, share the videos. Tell a friend to another friend, and also don't forget to spread the word. Tell a friend to another friend, and of course, don't forget to share the podcast along with the link that says Linktree slash Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast of the audio streaming platform choices to your friends. Right. So here we go. Okay. So now I usually talk about how important mental health is and stuff like that, but real quick, I'm gonna actually talk about this a little quicker so I can get to the performances and stuff like that. Once again, check on your loved ones, your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your friends. You know, the whole individuals might be fine on the outside, but on the inside they are not. So go ahead and show a little love, show a little compassion, moral support. You don't have to wait till Mental Health Day and Mental Health Awareness Month to actually reach out to these people. So there's no good time to reach out to people. You just go with your mind, your soul, your heart, and your instincts. Because common sense is not always fucking common. You know what I'm saying, folks? So there. And be kind to one another. You never know what a person might be going through as far as like anything. It could be anything, racial slurs, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything. Anything scary, traumatic, you just name it. And now that I got that out the way, we are going to go to our last segment of the night, is podcast free game mechanisms. And of course, as you may know, you know how this goes down. it's my place to actually give you the rundown on how to actually start a podcast. Now, for those who's interested in creating a podcast and they would like to create a show like I'm doing right now with 3 shows under my belt, make sure you basically have some key equipment that are very important so you could actually start a podcast. So first and foremost, you need headphones. You also need a microphone. Now, it doesn't have to be anything too expensive, folks. It could be anything simple like a Yeti microphone. It could be an Voxcon A800 microphone that I'm using right now, which I bought from Target. You can find a microphone either on Best Buy, Target, Amazon. You can find it in Walmart as well. So I try those areas if I was you guys. You know what I'm saying? Um, you also need a laptop or a computer so you could be able to do your YouTube live streams. And for the most part, um, it's also important to have a software to actually support the YouTube live streams that you're trying to do in the recording. And this is where StreamYard comes in. So StreamYard is a software that I use to connect my 3 YouTube channels that I record my podcast episodes on a weekly basis. So, first thing about StreamYard is the rundown on creation tools. You could create banners, you could create segments, talking points. As you can see, the talking points from that's scrolling across your screen, which is the social media handles where you can follow the show, all that other stuff. You can even create your own brand, create websites. You can create a website in one of the banners, all that good stuff. And you can create an account with StreamYard. All you need to do is type in the email address, whether it's your personal or the show's email address on there. And when you type in either one of those email addresses, it's going to send you an email with 6 numbers. Once you type in those numbers, you go to login. You go log in. Once you type in the numbers, okay, get login code, of course. Once you got all that, it will allow you to set up a schedule of any day of the week that you decide to do your live streams whatsoever. Now go with the free one. Now the free one is going to allow you to do 20 hours of live stream recordings. The upgrade is going to ask you to pay, but you don't want to do all that though, man. You know what I'm saying? So basically, with StreamYard, it's better sound quality, which is better than Zoom, as I always say. And for the most part, it allows you to be able to set up a date of when you're trying to do it. And it also allows you to send invite links to people with email addresses, phone numbers, Instagram handles. I mean, you just know the rest right there though. And if you're more interested into this, you can download the Anchor app, which has the creation tools for you to edit, for you to distribute your podcast, for you to basically monetize, and you also get paid with sponsorships with money in your pocket, which is excellent right there. Or you can check out the Anchor website so you get yourself a head start, so you can have yourself an amazing extravagant podcast journey like I'm doing right now. Now, that's gonna do it for me, man. I'm G Money Stacks. Thank you so much to everybody that's been listening and tuning in and rocking with me live and direct from StreamYard and YouTube, and of course Instagram Live right here. Make sure you turn your notifications on Instagram, folks, so that way you'll be able to watch me in action. Also, make sure you do the same with the YouTube channels with Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast, the Sports Edition Show, Meticulous Vibes Podcast, review show on YouTube, and of course G Money Stacks 555 with Off the Meat Rack Chains New York podcast episodes on there too. So it's like 115 episodes so far. So 115 will be dropped tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that right there. So I hope you guys stay safe. Have your face covers at all times. Be mindful of the people that you surround yourself with, especially in vans, subway trains, restaurants, buses, you just name it. And also, be safe out there. Make sure you checking on your loved ones. Make sure you have your warm tea with honey, lemon or lime, and make sure you wash your hands with water and soap, hand sanitizer, bottled water, Gatorade for electrolytes for energy and strength, and also hot chocolate milk with marshmallows. If you have any marshmallows, feel free to add some to it because that's the installation of inspiration, folks. That's going to do it for me, man. G Money Stacks is clocking out. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the Super Bowl 56 weekend. The performances, the commercials that are funny, and alongside with the Valentine's Day weekend. So, you know what I'm saying? And that's it, man. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Next Sunday, same time, same place, same man cave channel. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Peace and one love, and have yourselves a good night.